And so you had Dr. Emmanuel Tinkorang, who is head of the Ashanti Region Health Directorate, addressing the press there on the case of COVID-19 so far. He says that they have 2 isolation centers which have 300 beds altogether, and that is to make sure that they have enough space and to make it comfortable for the people who will be put on isolation. He also talked about the fact that they have 2 treatment centers for now. There's one that is yet to come on board, and that will make the treatment of COVID-19 cases in the region a lot more easier and better. He touched on the attitude of some of the persons on isolation and threats also that is being given to some of the health workers attending to these people on isolation. For him, this is attributable to stigma and also discrimination, for persons who seem to have the disease or exposed to the virus, and he's urging the media to help educate the public on that. And also on the issue of cure, he reiterated the point that there's so far no cure for COVID-19. All that is happening is trials so far, and really the trials are for vaccines, not necessarily for treatment of COVID-19. What he knows is that by observing the protocols, we may get out of this. He doesn't know when all of this will end, but the surest way out of this is by observing the protocols, social distancing, and also wearing the face masks, among others. We can now go back to the press conference and hear more from Dr. Tinkorang, who is answering some questions there.
Of confirmed cases by the date of reporting. That's the day that we receive the reports from the laboratory. So as you can see, we started from 13th March with just a single case. And by the time we got to 12th April, we recorded as many as 14 cases on a single day. This period coincides with the lockdown period, as you all remember. And as you can see, just 2 days ago, when the samples came, when the results came, we had as many as 33 positive cases among them. This is another description or depiction of what we've just talked about. So it's the number of samples tested and then the confirmed cases in Ashanti region. The blue lines or the blue line represent the total number of samples, and the other is the number of confirmed cases. So as you can see, as we ramp up the testing, the number of positive cases also increased. And once again, this area corresponds to the lockdown period. This represents the cumulative number of cases. So day 1, we have 1, day 2, if we have 2 cases, then it increased to 3. And as you can see, it has been rising over the period, and currently we have 163 cases up there. So it has been increasing over a period. We can also represent it in another form, this time using the dates that the sample was taken. We are using this as a proxy because of the huge backlog of samples at KCCR, as the regional director said. And then the fact that we're doing mass testing. Most of the cases or most of the samples that we picked were from people who were asymptomatic, or they were not complaining of any symptoms at all, or any problem at all. So that's how come we are using this. Within the Ashanti region, more males are getting the cases or the infection compared to females. 56% for males and 44% for females. And this No, can you go back, please? This is similar to the national picture, and indeed it's also similar to the global picture.
And so that's the situation as pertains to the Ashanti region on COVID-19.